Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Thursday. So today I have a little bit of a surprise. I am doing a second perfect neutral eye tutorial for the month of May. If you remember back to either last week or the week before, I shared a neutral eye tutorial featuring the newer Viseart Paris Edit palette. Actually, let me grab it. This bad boy right here. If you missed that video, I will link it down below. So these were using shades that really kind of float my boat personally. But I do realize that some of you are not into the mauves quite as much as I am. And actually, I think it was the day that I filmed that video, I got a little bit of a surprise in the mail. Viseart actually sent me their Spritz Edit palette. I didn't know that was going to happen. I purchased the Paris Edit palette during the last Sephora sale. So I was not actually originally planning on picking this one up because it does have much warmer shades in it. By the way, yes, I look insane right now because this eye is done. I'm going to show you how I got this warm eye look in the tutorial, so do stay tuned. But anyway, I just wanted to give you guys just a quick glance at the palette so that you could see the difference between the two in terms of color stories. So you can see this is obviously much warmer. This Spritz Edit is definitely a great summertime option for those of you that like warmer shades. The two golds that are in here, right here and right here, I would have to say are not personally my favorite shades, but I do think they are very, very good quality. I'm just gonna give you guys some swatches of those two because you'll probably never see these on my eyes, to be totally honest. They're just not a good fit for me, but you can see they're just really, they're beautiful shades. They just don't work very well with my gray hair, so there they are. Before I get into the tutorial, Viseart eyeshadows have been my personal favorite for a little while now. I do think that they tend to blend the easiest and the best. There is intense pigmentation. They stay put all day long, and they're just a really great eyeshadow to work with. So I personally love them. They are a little bit more spendy, but I do think they're worth splurging on. And anyone who has tried them in the past, at least the vast majority of people who have tried them in the past, from what I've read in my comment section, they agree with me. They're totally worth splurging on. So today we're gonna go ahead and recreate this kind of warm, it's definitely an orangey eye. But I do like the way it looks on me. Typically, because of my gray hair, I don't love these looks, but these shadows are so easy to work with that I feel like I can kind of make them work, if that makes sense. So what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and get started. Whatever is on the rest of my face in terms of lips, foundation, cheek color, all that stuff, that will be in the description box down below. I'll put links on where to find everything, so if you're curious, all of that information is in the description box, so just open that up. Everything you want to know is down there. All right, now I don't have the names of the shadows anymore because I did go ahead and recycle the packaging, and the one thing I will say for these smaller palettes, and most Viseart palettes in general, from what I recall, hang on one second here, they don't have the names on the back. No, they don't. So I'm not gonna have names for you guys, but I will just kind of point them out. So if you happen to have picked up the Spritz Edit palette, you can follow along. All right, the first thing that I of course did was put on my eye primer, and right now I am using the Viseart Seamless eye primer, which is fantastic. Definitely a great complement to the Viseart eyeshadows. It's a nice grippy primer, so it really does grab the shadows and holds on to them all day long. It's amazing. So I'm going to take a little bit of this shade right here, which is kind of a skin tone shade for me, and I'm just going to set my eye primer, especially on the lid. Am I still in frame? Okay. just went for it and wasn't even paying attention. Sorry, guys. All right, so there we go. Now I'm going to take a blending brush. This one is from Sigma, but any blending brush that you enjoy, use that. And now I'm going to go into this coral shade right here, but I'm also going to mix in a little bit of this kind of milk chocolate brown. So I'm just gonna go between the two and load up my brush just a little bit. You do not have to dig your brush into these shadows at all. Hang on one second here. That was Overstock letting me know that they delivered a mirror to my house, which arrived completely shattered. Gonna have to return that. Anyway, so what I'm gonna do with this is tap that shadow into my brush, not necessarily off. I talk about this technique all the time. You already know about this. Okay, so I'm going to place the product into my crease area. Now I like to go slightly above my crease on this outer part of my eye, just because that creates a little bit of what I would call like a lifted or almost cat eye type effect. And after I have gotten most of the product out here, I do continue following my natural crease. So not really going above my natural crease to go in towards this inner corner. And just be very gentle. If you tend to be a little bit aggressive with your brush, hold it a little further back on the handle so that you're not as tempted to like get the brush in there and scrub around. Treat your eyes gently. Okay, so after that, I'm going to go into this, it's almost like a really pretty burgundy shade, this one right here. Burgundy rust type shade, if you will. Now that one I am gonna tap just a little bit off because I kind of got a lot in there. And I'm going to place that once again in my crease and down onto the lid, just on the outer half. Oh, there's my neighbor. He's staring at me directly. Hi. It's not weird at all. I'm sitting here in a room with a camera pointed at my face. It's totally not weird. I think they already think I'm nuts anyway. It's fine. All right, so it's such a pretty color. I really do like that color. It's just a little bit more difficult with gray hair to make warmer tones work. It is not impossible, but I do think you have to be careful in how you do it and maybe don't go quite as bold. I feel like that's what the key is. Just, oh, hi. It's not quite as bold. Okay. So now that I have that nicely blended, it matches. At least it does here. Now I'm going to take this shade right here, which is actually kind of a nice taupe shade, a shimmery taupe. And I'm just gonna take a little bit on my pinky and I'm going to put that across my lid. You could certainly use a brush, but with these Viseart shadows, I love packing the shimmers on just a little bit more. Again, you can just use a brush. They work just fine like that, but I find you get slightly better pigmentation with the shimmers by using your finger. So after that, I'm going to go into this shimmery, it's almost actually more of a warm taupe. Again, I wish I thought to keep the packaging, but it's actually like a rosy taupe, I would say. Beautiful. So I'm just swiping onto the lid. I'm not going all the way to the outer part of my eye here, just kind of past the halfway point. There's gonna be a little bit of blending that's gonna take that shimmer away anyway. So, but first, before I do that, I do need to do my liner. I prefer a powder liner because of my oily lids. So this is actually an Anastasia brow powder duo in the shade Granite. This did not work for my brows, so I didn't want to waste it. Good news is it works perfectly as an eyeliner as well. So I'm just going to line my upper lash line. I'm staying pretty close to the lash line as I'm going in towards the inner corner of my eye. And I'm talking real close. So the line gets a lot thinner as I go in this direction. But it's a little wider towards the outer part. Again, trying to go for that lifted cat eye effect without doing a winged liner. I don't like winged liner on me. I don't think it ever looks quite right. So this is my way to kind of cheat that a little bit. Okay. Then I'm going to take a little bit more of that rust color and I'm going to blend out that liner ever so slightly. So just literally just a dippy do will do ya. And I'm going to go in and blend out that dark granite colored liner. Just going to go over here one more time. There we go. That's so pretty. It's such a beautiful color combination. If you have like gorgeous brunette hair, this is your eye look for sure. And I'm gonna take whatever is left on this liner brush and just line my lower lash line a little tiny bit. I don't want a harsh line. I think you guys know by now that I'm not into harsh lines. I'm kind of big on like a blended out look. So take a Q-tip and let's smudge that liner just a little bit. Be very gentle if you're ever doing anything underneath your eyes so that you're not tearing at that delicate skin. And that's it. So obviously I need some mascara. I'm gonna do the mascara off camera. It's pretty painful to watch. But the two mascaras that I'm using today are the NYX Worth the Hype, and I'm combining it with the CoverGirl Clump Crusher. I am one of those mascara mixers. So it gives me a really nice, I've got my lashes done over here, obviously. It gives me a really nice defined, slightly volumized lash look without being like too thick or heavy. So this is a great little mascara combination if you're a mascara mixer like I am. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish that and then upload this look for you guys. Hopefully you like it. Let me know if you have any questions down below and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.